What's up, y'all? It's your favorite half Filipino, half Italian homeboy here with my Filipino homie, Nico Blitz. I'm on his podcast. It's DJ Zo. Peace.
Perfect.
Oh my God, is that Nico Blitz?
Nico Blitz Podcast. We somewhere in the 20s. Shouts out my next guest, man. DJ Zo.
What up, Nico? Thanks for having me, bro.
Yeah, bro. So you didn't have the headphones on, but then we have air horns right here.
Oh wow. What else you got in there?
I got some claps.
I love it.
This is my DJ tag. Oh my God, is that Nico Blitz?
Sick.
And a couple other things.
I love it, bro.
Yeah, bro.
What about the gunshot?
See, the gunshot, it's so funny because I've always heard a lot of DJs use the gunshot, and it wasn't until this year where I'm just like, man, I think I kind of want to use the gunshot now.
I just hit the hammer, the click, 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 click.
Oh, man.
The gun doesn't go off.
Yeah, the gun is like one of the, see, because like I'll kind of have, it is very aggressive, bro. Like, because I'll sometimes be at like an outside gig, let's say you're in like Vegas or something, and then you hear a gunshot, and then you immediately just duck.
That's like when I hear those songs like on the radio that have like an ambulance siren or a police siren, and I'm like, oh shit, I'm getting pulled over. I'm like, oh, it's the song.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like the ambulance police siren, but then I think about it because when I do DJ on radio, I'm like, I wonder how many people also get freaked out that way. What would you say is your favorite sound effect as a DJ, bro?
Well, one that I like constantly do in my sampler is just bruh. I always do like bruh.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of like a trolling thing. I probably only do it maybe like 5 or 6 times a night, but I'll do it in real key places where it's kind of obnoxious, like on Too Short. What's my favorite word? Bruh. You know, stuff like that. So I do enjoy that. And then, of course, I like the air raid. Just like, let's say I mix too early and then there's like 4 awkward bars.
Yeah.
It's like I'll just run the air raid siren, or I'll just put like DJ Zo, something like that.
Yeah, I feel that, bro. That's why it's good to kind of have like those long sound effects to like, I guess kind of just make sure if you did mess it, fill in that little space over there. Yeah, it's always funny because like I remember when I first started DJing, I was like super aggressive with the air horns, bro.
Yeah. I switched from the air horn to the air raid siren because it's kind of longer. I like that one.
Yeah.
I also like this laser effect. It's like, I just like that. I feel like it puts a punctuation on like the mix.
Yeah.
And then I've got the Michael Jackson Thriller laugh in there too.
I think I've heard that one before. Yeah.
I don't really do that one a lot, but it's there just in case, like, you know, I have that long drawn out thing because that's like 20 seconds or like 15 seconds long. So
have you ever made like your own sound effect with like your own voice and then use it later on?
Yeah, I've done that before, but I just grab them now from whoever, or I have people like record it, or you know, just edit it and then put it in there real nice. My last sampler deck is actually just all like drums, like in case I need to drum something out or something like that. We got like hat, you know, snare, closed hat.
Yeah, just some like little extra shit to make the
shit.
Yeah. I feel that. Yeah. So I'm not even gonna lie, bro. Like I had not heard of you prior to like working with you at Arena.
Oh, yeah.
And then when we became
buds over there, man.
Huh?
I said we became buds at Arena. That's why I wore this shirt today, actually. I was at Arena rocking this.
I couldn't even tell you were
sick.
Bro, I couldn't even tell you were Filipino until I saw you wear that shirt.
Half Filipino, half Italian, baby.
That's what's up, man. Yeah, because then I was like, it's very strange if I see somebody wear a, you know, Jollibee shirt, but it's not like too obvious that you're Filipino.
Yeah. You're a mix too, right?
Huh?
You're half Latino, half Mexican, half...
I'm not.
Wait, isn't that your podcast?
Yeah, but my girl is Mexican and I'm Filipino.
Oh, okay. So you're full Filipino?
I'm full Filipino and she's full Mexican.
Oh, sick, bro. Hell yeah. We got the beards going, you know? You see it. You see it.
See, that's the funny part too, because like, you know, my family was always like, where the hell did you get the beard from? Because my dad doesn't have a beard. My grandpa doesn't have a beard.
Really?
Yeah.
How about on the mom's side, you thinking?
So I did a little bit of digging.
Mom has a beard.
My mom definitely has the beard. No, so it's actually my great-grandfather. He has a beard.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because he's a little bit more...
That's interesting. It skipped.
Yeah. He's a little bit more connected with like the Spaniard side.
Oh,
that's why. Yeah. So, you being Filipino and you having a beard, I'm like, there's no way he's full Filipino, bro.
There we go, baby.
Half Italian.
Yeah.
Half Filipino.
Yeah.
Oh, which one is the Filipino?
My mom is Filipina. My dad's Italian, yeah. I've only ever met one other half Italian, half Filipino person. My boy Mestizo, he's a rapper, actually. Shout out to him.
Oh, that's what's up.
And it was the other way around. His dad was Filipino.
So you guys probably just had that instant connection.
Yeah, so when I met him, I looked at him, I was like, you look kind of familiar, bro. You look a little bit similar.
Did you ever have any like identity crisis growing up? Like,
oh, for sure, dude. Hell yeah, because I grew up in Northern Virginia and
oh, you're not even from here.
No. Oh, I've been here in LA maybe like a long time, 15 years or 14 years. So I think I'm pretty much from here, but I grew up in Virginia, and there weren't a ton of Filipino people in my school or like Asians and stuff like that. So it was definitely like, identity issues, but everyone was pretty chill. And then like, I kind of remember I was pretty awkward until like maybe, I don't know, 9th or 10th grade when I started DJing. And then when that happens, like you kind of become like, you get a pass, even if you're awkward or a nerd or whatever, like, they're like, oh, this guy's a DJ. Let's be friends with the DJ. That's cool. So then I became like,
you became the cool kid.
Not the cool kid, but I didn't feel so awkward anymore.
Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like even, at the club, everybody just kind of wants to be around the DJ.
Yeah.
But then especially like back then when you started, you were probably the only DJ in that circle.
I was scratching on vinyl. I didn't even really have an interest in DJing. I really just, I just scratched, really. That was like what I like to do. Maybe from 9th grade to 11th grade, I just scratched. And then out of necessity, like doing house parties and stuff, 11th, 12th grade, I was like, oh, maybe I should DJ. So then I kind of learned how to DJ after scratching, I guess.
When did you start?
Man, I don't want to date myself here, but shit, I started scratching for the first time in '99. So
oh shit!
Grade.
Oh wow! Oh, okay.
Long ass time, bro.
Zoe is like the OG.
Yeah.
One of the OGs of this thing, man. Damn. So even like back then, like none of this technology, you didn't even have access to any of it.
I think I had a shitload of vinyl. I still have a lot of vinyl, and I had what did I have? I had like, I forget what it was. A Gemini mixer had like the scratch button. Have you ever seen that? It's like pretty much like an on and off transform, but it's a button. So I would.
What the hell?
I would just transform on that like.
Oh, that's lit.
Yeah, and that's how I got like into scratching. I was like, oh, this is kind of interesting manipulating this like button like that.
You know what? I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I don't even know what that is. But then you just doing the motion, I get what you're doing.
It's just pretty much the thing is closed fader the whole time, or it's off, and then when you press it on, it enables it. So like I was just like,
bro, that is sick.
Yeah.
Do people still use that?
No, hell no. Well, I guess Rain came out with like a 57, which kind of had this toggle thing on the top, which was kind of on and off, but there's not really many like practical applications for that.
So then you were scratching first, got super into it, and then you just started doing like the house parties back then?
Yeah, I started scratching and then just did the house parties. Nothing like serious, but growing up in Virginia, I could go to New York to get records from Turntable Lab, so I would like do that like almost every other weekend. Come back with records, do the house parties and stuff, and then I went to college, and I think freshman year I was doing like, another house party, continuing that stuff, and then my boy came and saw me. Shout out to my guy, DJ C Sharp, kind of a veteran DJ of the area over there. And he kind of like took me under his wing. He was just like, okay, you're mixing, but you don't really know how to DJ. Like, you're not mixing that great and stuff, So he kind of taught me, and then, put me on the radio over there. We did some of the local stuff or some of the college events. And actually, that was like pretty crazy now that I think about it, because he was tuned in with the college radio, so we would just get to open for all of the acts that they brought through. And they brought like Kanye West through and like Lloyd Banks. But this is kind of pre-college dropout, so I didn't even know who Kanye West was.
Yeah, ain't nobody knew who Kanye was back then. Yeah.
But yeah.
That's pretty sick. I mean, I guess you were part of, I guuld say that you were part of like the beginning of Kanye West's origins. Might be a little bit of a stretch.
That's a stretch, but let's say I helped him out. I gave him some notes on college dropout.
No, I'm saying if Zoe did not DJ at the college radio station, Kanye West would not be here to this day.
I can't even really remember that show, to be honest. It was so long ago. But then, yeah, he kind of helped me out. And then I think maybe I was a sophomore, and then Serato had come out. And before then, like that freshman through sophomore year, we were using CDJs because they had at that point the CDJ that you could burn like 500 songs on. So we just like we would like use kind of vinyl and CDJs to DJ, and then we would have like a book of like, this is the hits one. And it was like 500 songs on there.
What the fuck?
Yeah, because CDJs, the technology changed like, I don't know, maybe halfway through where it could accept like MP3 discs instead of, CDs. So then when they did that, you could have whatever the MP3 disc, whatever the CDs could hold, 650 megabytes, I think. So we just stacked it with songs. And then Serato came out, and I told my boy, I was like, I want to try this thing. It looks kind of tight. I had seen it at this DMC thing that I did before, and then they had like A-Track and a bunch of people like scratching on it. But it was so elementary that it wasn't like working really great. It kept on like fucking up and skipping.
Yeah, it was still brand new at the time.
So I think that might have even been Final Scratch. I can't remember. But anyways, they tightened it up, and then the Serato came out, and I told him I'm buying that. But he's kind of like an old school head. He's like, fuck that computer shit. So then I was like, all right, fuck it, I got it. And then we kept on doing the parties, and then he would use his CDJs, and I would use the Serato, and it was just way faster. And he was like, yo, pull this up, and we were just vibing like that. And then he was like, all right, I got to get that. And
yeah.
That was kind of my intro to Serato and really DJing like that. And then, shit, I used it ever since then. So I think that was like, 2006, 2005, whenever it came out.
2006, 2005, I was in like 7th grade.
Yeah. You didn't have Serato then, bro?
Yeah, come on, bro. You didn't have Serato when you were like in middle school, bro? So do you remember what your first gig was?
Shit, my first gig was probably just something in high school, like talent show or something like that. Yeah, it definitely was a talent show. Probably for the school, maybe in like 9th grade. Yeah. But then we did a bunch of other stuff when I was a kid. Like it was kind of talent show stuff too, like church talent show.
Church talent shows,
yeah, with my boy Rick, my homie Lyrics. He's a rapper, and we kind of grew up together. So
that's sick.
We would do shows together.
So basically, you were spinning all the Jesus tracks at the school.
Like, put your hands up. I do 3 Hail Marys.
Hail Mary, full of grace. Yeah. What even got you into DJing?
Man, it was really scratching. So it was like 9th grade. My boy had that set up with the little button thing.
Yeah.
And I was kind of a latchkey kid, meaning like, my parents go to work. So after I get home from school from like 2 to 6, I'm just kind of just doing whatever. Like I'm waiting for them to come home. So I would just go to like homies' houses and stuff and hang out, play sports, and then whatever. One of the homies had like a setup with the turntable and shit. And he was okay with it. And then like I just would go there every day for like maybe a month or 2. And then I got like way better than him just practicing like an hour, a day after school. And then I remember I bought some turntables. Like I worked the whole summer, bought some techs. I still have them actually.
Wow.
And then my homie gave me that track. I think it was called Trackmaster. Gave me that mixer. I was cutting on that. And then I got an 06. I had that for a while. I still have that 06 also.
Damn, so you just kept going.
Yeah.
That's it.
I loved it, man. And then I had that stuff, and I swear to God, like from 9th to 11th grade, I was just in my room scratching every day for like 6 hours. And I remember I would break records and shit. I get so pissed. Slam the record.
Oh, so you mean like actually break the record?
Yeah. Like a bunch of times I would break the record.
Jesus.
Yeah. Because then I was trying to get all these intricate stuff. I could do it now, but chirps and flares and stuff like that. When you're learning, it's kind of frustrating. It takes some time.
I feel it, man. Yeah. I mean, like nowadays, whenever I'm practicing, I'll get inspired by just like an Instagram clip, and I'll be like, okay, like now that I know what like a specific scratch will sound like, let me try to emulate it myself. Yeah. But then I kid you not, I think the other day I was practicing for maybe just like 2 or 3 hours, and I'm just like, okay, like that feeling that you get when you're moving the fader, and you're like, okay, like this is the motion I'm getting, and then I try to replicate it the next day, and I'm like, ah.
Yeah, and you lose it, right?
You lose it, yeah.
So I would even have like ninja training exercises where I would like try to do the same scratch, but I would do it with just these 2 fingers, and then I would do it with these 2 fingers, and these 2, then these 2. And then I would do the record finger with like 1 finger, then the record with this finger, record with this finger.
What the fuck?
Yeah, dude, I was like super into it, man. I mean, I still enjoy scratching, but the sad thing is like I don't use turntables anymore. Maybe for like 5 years, I haven't really used turntables.
Do you feel like scratching is kind of a lost art form nowadays?
I wouldn't say it's a lost art form. I would say maybe underappreciated or not as popular as DJing, but there's a ton of scratchers that you don't hear about. Like I know a ton of like sick homies that are really, really dope at scratching, but they don't really have much interest in DJing, or they have a job or something, but they're still super ill with it. And overseas too, I see all these clips and I see these like young cats and like they're super into it too. So I think that everything helps. Social media, Instagram, like can help inspire these youngsters, because when I started, I would have to like download clips on this thing called Real Player, like watch those, or just go to events, or actually there was like a forum thing back then called Pal Talk, which I would scratch on. It was like a chat room pretty much. It was a chat room for like perverts, but
so why were you on there?
No, but there was a room there called Scratch. It was pretty much, if I think about it, it was like, I don't know the application of that program besides for like people to flirt with other people or something.
Yeah.
But then, the word got spread like, oh, go on this channel called Scratch. And then it was like hundreds of DJs from like all over. And then like you have to like wait your turn in line. You have to like put up your hand.
Got you.
And then like I'll go up and cut it up. And then.
Got you. So it was basically all
some nerdy shit.
Yeah, it was all the perverts on like 99% of the other part of the application, and then the scratch on like the other 1%, which you were in.
I didn't go in those pervert rooms, right?
Yeah. Thank God. I'm just like, I don't think that's a way you want to introduce the app,
bro. Yeah. So definitely practice a lot there. Yeah, man.
Did you ever like have another job outside of DJing?
I did, yeah. So, I mean, when I was in high school and stuff, I had like just a regular jobs, pizza delivery, intern at the hospital or whatever, stuff like that. And then college, in college I didn't have a job. I just DJ'd these like fraternity and sorority parties. I made a killing then because like there was no DJs, I remember.
Yeah.
And like I had a bunch of vinyl, and like you could only DJ with vinyl. And then my boy had the CDJs too. So we were just like doing a gang of fraternity parties, sorority parties, like every kind, like black sorority, black fraternity, the white Chi Omega shit, and like I forget all the names.
Everything.
Like,
yeah.
And they'd always be like, yo, you should join. I'm like, I'm all right. I'm just a DJ, let me do my thing.
Yeah, you don't want to be exclusive to one fraternity. Yeah. You have to make the money across all the fraternities.
So that in college I did that. And then I remember so then I moved from Virginia to LA, actually, because unfortunately I went to Virginia Tech, and then there was that shooting there.
Oh, you were there?
I was there, yeah. That was my senior year of school. And
that's crazy.
Yeah, it is pretty crazy.
Where where were you when the shooting happened?
I was asleep, man. I didn't go to class because I was really not a great student. I was kind of a poor student, and I remember I would like put this one class at 9:30 a.m. or like 9 a.m., maybe even earlier, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna put that there. I think it was music theory too, but I was like, I want to learn about music theory.
Yeah.
But I never made it because it was so early. It was just wishful thinking, like I'll put it early. But then I remember I woke up late. I texted my boy. I'm like, yo, what happened in the class? I just woke up. He's like, bro, turn on the TV. Like, don't come to school right now. There's like a shooting. So
wow,
it was pretty scary because we didn't know anything. So I just remember me and my boy, we were just in our room, just laying on the floor. We're like, whoa, shit.
Yeah, I mean, shoot, that was a very that was a very fortunate day to not go to class.
Yeah, I don't think I don't even know. I can't remember, but I wasn't like near that building. But who knows?
But still, I mean, like just kind of like knowing that you would have been like in the vicinity would have just been like crazy.
That was really scary. And then so that's why I moved to LA, because then right there, the teacher was like, you could just, school's done. And I was already a senior. There was like maybe 4 months left or 3 months left. They're like, school's done, you can take your grade. So I was like, all right, I'll take my grade. And my boy, the guy that I did the shows with in Virginia, Lyrics, he ended up moving to LA because he was doing some more shows and touring and stuff. And he was working with, I think it was, I don't know, Warner Brothers maybe or something. I don't know. He was like, come through. I got shows. Like, you could DJ for me. So I moved and, man, it was definitely dope, but it was definitely like squalor. Like he lived in squalor with like, shout out to him though, because he motivated me to come out. But he was like, yeah, I got my own car, I got my apartment. But the apartment was shared with like 7 people I didn't know. Like the size of this. And then like the car had to be like jump started every time. It was like a G ride. It was like a bucket.
Damn, you were really winging it over here then, bro.
So then like I was like, fuck. But we did do shows, like, even though we were, I guess that was like the starving artist time, which is funny why I went through that, because I graduated with like, you know, nice degree from university, but then I chose to kind of live that way because I guess I didn't want to go back to Virginia and like get a job or something. So
I feel it.
We were doing a shit ton of tours where I was getting paid like $50 a day, stuff like that, you know. We did have a couple cool ones though. We went to like Switzerland and stuff like that, but then we did those shows for a bit, and then there was one guy, because these were like underground kind of hip hop shows, and then there was this other guy that would always be around where we were at, and he was also sick, and he was also Asian. He was Korean, because my boy Rick was Korean, and that was Dumbfoundead. So him and like Rick would always be, you know, freestyling and like be the only Asian dudes there, and then they would like, man, everyone would roast them. Like we would go to Lamert Park to Project Blowed on 43rd and Lamert. And if you haven't been there, it's like, you know, it's some real shit. It's like right in the middle of, you know, it's on like right by Martin Luther King Boulevard.
I've only been there once. And it was just to support the homie who was performing. And I'm like, cool, I'm out.
Yeah. So it's kind of, you know, I don't know if unsavory is the word, but you like, if you're not used to that, then, you know, it's kind of,
you might get culture shook.
Yeah, it's a culture shock. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, but I was always like, man, these 2 Asian dudes are fucking dope. Like, and then, you know, because they would hit them with so many crazy lines. I remember there was like a doggy daycare, and they were like, doggy daycare, you probably ate there. I was like, damn.
Yeah, man. I mean, you know what? Growing up, I was like super into the battle rap scene.
So dope, right?
So one of the first people who I did actually see was Dumbfoundead.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because you know, like there wasn't too many Asians that you could like, you know, in the like rap scene in general. Right. So I was like, cool. Like I'm automatically gravitating towards him.
Oh yeah.
And I remember this one battle that's always been stuck in my head, and I see it periodically whenever I just, you know, feel like wanting to watch it again. It was Dumbfoundead versus
Conceited.
I think Tantrum.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, versus Tantrum, bro.
Fuck, that one was good. I was there. Yeah.
Oh, you were there?
Yeah. I remember that. That kind of really helped him because that was like when YouTube was kind of popular too.
Yeah.
So we started a channel around then too. Yeah. So basically, Rick and Dumb became friends just because they were barring out, and then like, man, every weekend we would just be at our house to like 4 or 5 a.m. I had the turntables in the kitchen. They were just freestyling. And then what happened? Man, it's kind of a blur how I got to where I am, but Rick moved back to Virginia, and then I had nowhere to live, and I didn't really have a lot of money because I was like earning $50 a day. I'm just like spending it. So I like straight up lived in my car for a bit. I was like, I don't want to tell my parents that, you know, I need money, because then they're gonna be like, come back to Virginia, and then I'm gonna have to work at like Merrill Lynch or something. No,
yeah, I feel it.
Shout out to Merrill Lynch. You know, if you work there, I'm not, you know, taking shots at you, but
he's just saying.
I didn't want to do that.
Yeah.
So I toughed it out, and then Dumb was like, yo, why don't you just come live with me? Like, he had a spot, and then I knew how to use Pro Tools because I would track everything like for Rick and stuff. So he was like, just track me, you know, for this album, and then we'll put it out, and then like you could stay with me. So then we went on, we did that. We toured a bit. I think the pay increased from $50 to $100 a day.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah. And then, shit, I can't even remember, man. It's been a long time, but
I mean, that's still a cool ass journey, bro.
Yeah, it's like an origin story.
Yeah, it's a super origin story, because I mean, you know, I remember listening to Dumb's tracks when I was younger, and I was like, cool, like this is dope. So the fact that you were like tracking all the shit just makes it even like cooler.
And then it was funny because we did everything ourselves. Like we would make merch for the tours and stuff. And then we straight up like had a homie that had this silk screen machine. It was like one of those 4-color ones that like you put out the screen on 4 and you like switch every 4 and like push it and push it. So we're like, all right, let's just buy that for like $700 and then let's press up all these shirts like for the tour. So we did that. But the thing is, like, you should not do that in your apartment because the chemicals and stuff are like so bad for you. So we wake up with like bloodshot eyes, like we can't breathe.
Freaking coughing out blood and everything, bro.
So definitely like some interesting, funny stories.
Oh my God. Yeah. So, I mean, you ended up going on tour after, I mean, you're obviously the DJ on this tour. Yeah. You obviously were the merch designer and the oppressor and whatnot. Like, what would you say was like your fondest memory from like the first tour you and Dumb did?
Oh man, those early tours, shoot, we just driving. Like I've driven probably during those early days when like you really don't have anything to lose and everything's kind of fun and kind of like making your mark on the scene. Just like you're hungry for it all. So like one of the funniest things was like we would drive around the whole country. We would route the thing. We would route it so shittily because it's like we're in Kansas and then we need to be in like Alabama the next day, like 18-hour drive to the venue.
Oh my God.
We didn't like really properly plan it out, but one time I crashed the tour van.
Oh no!
Yeah. Because we would burn the candle on both ends. We would like wake up early, drive whatever 7 to 10 hours, do the show, drink at the show, and then finish by like 3, 4 a.m. Wake up by like 6, 7 a.m. and drive to the next city. So then everyone is just kind of tired. So we're like, all right,
tired, hungover.
Rock, paper, scissors. Who's gonna drive?
Ooh.
I lost, and then I'm driving. I think we were going from Philly to DC, and I turn around. Everybody's asleep. There's like 6 of us in like a big church-style van, like those white vans with the windows that don't open at all. It's just like a thing to look out.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, I better stay awake. And then I don't remember. I rammed the car in front of me.
Whew.
Yeah. And then it was fine. Our car got totaled, but their car was fine. But I remember we had to Mickey Mouse the car, like to drive it back to LA to return it. So we just the total repair was like $1,500, I think, which was my total tour money or something.
Jesus Christ.
But then this is when Twitter came out. So then Dumb tweeted like, "Yo, we just crashed the van. Like, can
people send over some money?" Yeah.
So we covered like half of it. And then I remember I got back to LAX and I returned the van and they were like, "What the fuck did you do?" Because they kind of just really fixed it so that we'd be able to drive back to LA. They didn't fully. They just like
got you.
Fucking like taped it together pretty much.
Yeah.
Let me pull up and I was
Let's just make sure all the parts are still together and then they could worry about fixing it later.
They tried to charge me like a crazy amount of money, but luckily I had the foresight to get the insurance. So I was like, I got the insurance.
Hey, and that being said, this is why you always grab the insurance. Yeah. Jesus, man. And the insurance was under your name or what?
Under my name, yeah. But I remember that, like, they were hitting me up for like more than a year, like trying to like make it go into collections, but I was like covered. And then also the person that I hit, the Italian man in DC, he tried to sue me too. I remember I got like a letter in the mail, but it got like something happened. I didn't have to deal with it.
That is very good, bro. Yeah. That being said, I'm very happy that you're here, man.
Yeah.
Zoe Mano made his $1,500 from the tour, and we still here after a car crash and whatnot. So what happens after that? Because obviously, like, I have a lot of homies who are tour DJs, and then usually after the tour, like, it's just like club events, like like the artist is just not touring like every single day out of the year. So what do you do after that?
So after that, I guess that's where I really like learned. Just hard work, I guess, and like I guess if you say partying all night and then waking up and just kind of sticking to the schedule and stuff like that. And what ended up happening is Dumb was kind of taking off on the grind time rap battles at the same time, and then we were doing these tours, getting more eyeballs, and then he was appearing on a ton of people's YouTube because I think YouTube was just starting to get popular then. So this guy approached us. He ended up being like our mentor. He was a really smart guy, Brian Lee. He was like, "Yo, you're getting like hundreds of thousands of views on the Grind Time channel. Why don't you start your own Dumbfoundead channel?" So he kind of started that, and then did his thing with the videos. I think there was one that was a really smart thing, which was that viral kick. Like the have you seen that? It's supposed to be like a rap battle where he's battling somebody, and then like Dumb has a stunt double like come in and do like some crazy flying kick.
You know, I might have came across that video just once.
Yeah, it was a really smart, like, viral idea.
Yeah.
And that guy was really forward-thinking in that sense. But that kind of got him a lot of subscribers. And then we pivoted that into making another channel called, like, Knock Steady, which was a YouTube channel. Which we interviewed a bunch of cats on that. We interviewed, like, Vince Staples and, man, I can't even think. Like,
early Vince Staples.
Early Vince Staples. And he was, like, 16, 15. Anyways, we did all that. And then that helped us tour more, get our rate up more. And then this YouTube channel, Noxetti, ended up getting bought by this company called Maker Studios, which was like an MCM. I forget what that stands for, multi-channel. I don't know, but basically during that time is when like YouTube was really popping. So like there were like, so Disney was throwing money here, like Time Warner was throwing money here. We pretty much got absorbed into an umbrella corporation. They were like, okay, you guys do music. Take care of all of our music channels. It's like a Viacom, and then underneath they have like,
got you. Like
got
the
like
umbrella company.
Yeah, they got like the music thing, and under the music they got X, Y, and Z. Then they got like the vlogs, and then like Tim. That's how I met Tim DeLaGhetto, because we were working together there. So Tim was like one of the main dudes. That's how I met AJ also. So they all were under Maker at the same time.
Got you. Yeah, I feel like you know, I was actually just talking about this on the Mexipino podcast with my girl, and it's like YouTube, because you know we didn't see a lot of Asian people like on TV. I feel like YouTube was like that television for like Asians, you know, especially like Filipino culture. That's where we got exposed to like AJ. That's where we got exposed to like Dumbfoundead and like Timothy DeLaGhetto. So it was kind of cool to see like YouTube kind of, in a sense, like spark the careers for Asian Americans.
Sure, that was like really the birth of like on-demand shit too. Like you just go on the tube but so what ended up happening is like I kind of took a break from DJing then, because they were like, yo, work for this company and the salary is this. At the time I was making like, you know, not that much doing these underground tours. So I was like, fuck yeah, let me finally get some real money.
Was it more than the $50 a day?
Yeah, it was 60.
There we go. So you see the progression like every time Zoe did some shit.
50, 60, 70. We're going to 80. I'm about to get $90 soon. No, but so what happened there was I did that for like 2 years, made some good money, and then during that time, Dumb's career really blew up. And I really regret it. I missed on a lot of cool stuff, like because I had to work. I had to have D-Struct go on some of those tours. Derek, I'm still fucking envious that I missed those Europe tours.
At least you can admit it, though, bro. At least you can admit it.
So then after like 2 or maybe it was even 3 years, I was like, I just about fucking had it. I quit this job. You know, I want to DJ again. And then at that time, I just quit. I had nothing lined up. I wasn't really DJing anymore, really. I mean, I still was like cutting it up and doing like the odd shows.
Yeah, but you basically left your job with like no plan other than I just want to DJ.
Yeah. I was like, I want to get into this again. And then
that must have been scary though, bro.
Oh yeah, it was super scary. But I just remember I was like, I don't want to take like an 8 a.m. phone call, or it wasn't even Zoom then, it was Skype. An 8 a.m. Skype with like some lame-o person that I don't like really have respect for their YouTube channel to design like a fucking, I don't know, mouse pad for their merchandise. I'm like, I don't give a shit.
I feel it.
So I was just like, I quit. I mean, I did learn a lot from that job, just, you know, not saying it was all bad, but I wasn't into it. I was dying creatively.
Yeah, your creative juices were not flowing back then.
It was like, it was sad.
But you know, I do feel like it takes something like, you know, a job like that, you know, putting yourself in a situation for you to realize, you know what, like I really don't want to do this, and like what's really going to like get my gears grinding.
Sure, yeah. And then what ended up happening is then me and Dumb did the shows, and then I became friends with there's like a lot that I'm missing, but this is like the, you know, the abridged version. I met Roy Choi, who is like who is a really dope chef and just an overall really dope dude, and he's in tune with like all of the LA scene, and he loves music and stuff. So he'd see me DJ a bunch of times, and then he hit me up. He's like, yo, we took over the Line Hotel, which used to be, I think it was the Sheraton or something. Basically, it's on Wilshire and Western. And he was like, can you help out with the DJ program over there? So I started doing like every Saturday over there. And then I started programming like Fridays. I had my boy Image on Fridays. And then there were like some Sunday parties and stuff like that. And then on Thursday, it was like Ali Shaheed Muhammad from Tribe Called Quest and Beat Junkies. So it started to become a place where it was cool to hang out in K-Town, because before that in K-Town, there weren't really a lot of spots for people that are not not Korean to hang out. So if you're like not Korean, you're coming to K-Town back then, you're like, all right, let's get Korean barbecue, then we'll get some boba, and then we'll end the night with karaoke, right?
Yeah.
You're not thinking, oh, let's go to this cool like lounge or something. And so we pretty much transformed. Like after maybe a few months, we just started seeing the line get longer and longer. We were just in the lobby. It was literally just like a lobby, and it would get turned up to the max. Man, the line would be around the block on Wilshire and Western. And then we did that for like, I might have done that for like 3 or 4 years.
Damn.
Like, it was like popping. And then through that gig, I got a lot of really dope opportunities because people would want to come into there. Oh, there's this new chef, Roy Choi, let's check it out. So they would come in there, and I got other residencies from that too. Like so-and-so would be there and like, here's my business card, hit me up, blah, blah, blah.
So would you say that that spot was kind of like the catalyst for DJ Zoe to finally like make his own brand?
Yes, for sure. So shout out to Roy. He gave me like a really good opportunity there. Because before that I was DJing not as often. I'd say maybe like, I don't know, 3 times a month, like just random places, you know. But then once I got the residency, you know, it was pretty straight. And that taught me really kind of how to navigate the night, because I never held a residency where it's from like 9 p.m. to 2 a.m. You know, so 5 hours. So you learn how to navigate the night. You learn how to like deal with expectations, manage the staff, what they want, crowd, what they want, like you know, music selection too. Being there every week, you don't want to play the same set. The staff will like want to shoot themselves.
Yeah, they're just like, we might as well turn on the radio.
Yeah, so like
I feel it. No, because I did Terracotta maybe like for the first time I think last September or October. So, you know, it's like a 5-hour gig, 9 to 2. So I'm over here like, well, I've DJed on Twitch for like 3, 4, 5 hours. So let me see what I could do like in real life. But then, you really navigate the night to where I kind of just blocked it out. So I was like, okay, first hour, I'm just going to do R&B. Second hour, I can kind of pick it up a little bit more. By 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, I could start doing like club EDM shit and then slow it back down at the end. Yeah,
formula pretty much. You figure it out. So so in the first year of the Line Hotel, I want to say that was like 2014, maybe 2013.
Yeah.
So then I was DJing before that too. I even did like a bunch of international stuff, but that was mainly as you know, support for the rap artists that I would go on tour with. So I would, of course, get to DJ, but it would be like the opening set. So I'd DJ for like an hour, and then the rap show goes on, and then the closing set. Or sometimes there would be like an after party, do the after party where they make an appearance. I'll DJ that. But those concerts, you don't get a good grasp of being in tune with the audience, because, first of all, everyone is there to see the performance. They want to record with the phones and stuff like that. It's not like a typical nightclub experience. So I guess at the Line Hotel, I really did learn how to do that and also deal with those long hours. 'Cause I remember during that I would also stack my stuff too. I would do like a Thursday at like somewhere. I think I had Break Room 86. Then I would do Friday at like Soho House. And then Saturday I would do the Line Hotel. Then Sunday morning I would do the brunch at the Line Hotel. And then Sunday afternoon I would do Soho House Malibu. So each of those are like 5-6 hours, 5-10. That's about 25, maybe 30 hours a week. I did that for like 2 or 3 years, and then that made me really sharp with those long sets and kind of, you know,
I feel it.
Tune like that.
Yeah, because I feel like the one thing that you know, a DJ fears is A, getting deaf from just like hearing everything, but then B, like also just getting burnt out from you know, just playing the same shit over and over and over again. I feel like when you've created particular sets and then you do it on like a weekly basis or even on like a daily basis, like that creativity and excitement that you had once you figured it out is no longer there anymore.
Yeah, for sure. I would agree on that, because I remember back then I used to prepare crazy. I would like go home and practice a ton of shit and then like try it out. If it doesn't work, I would keep on changing it until it works. But then now my preparation is pretty much like maybe a couple hours before. I'll just open Serato. I'll scroll through a bunch. I'll just put Apple P, putting in the prepare crate. You know how to
Yeah.
And then like when I have like maybe 50 in there, I'll just close the lid. and then I open the lid and I get to the venue and then. You know.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I think it was just this past weekend. Dio had looked at me like opening my laptop and putting songs in the crate, and he looked at me and I'm just like, yeah, bro, like it's so that I don't have to think tonight. I don't want to think tonight.
Yeah, those are like your
the go-tos
in case of emergency. Break glass. Like,
exactly.
Yeah.
That reminds me of a song that I'm gonna ask you about like way later down the line. Yeah. But you know what's funny is that like I kind of had a very what's the word? Proud moment for myself, I guess. So I just remember like coming up with this set where I was like, I think I was playing DNA by Kendrick Lamar, and then it went into like Mo Bamba. I was like, oh wait, like this is actually pretty cool. So then I did it one night.
Right.
And then you ended up going on like, you know, maybe like a month or so later, and I was like, Zoe did it too. And I was like, this is sick. Like, I'm so happy I was thinking on the same wavelength as him.
Some of those things, people would be like, oh, you're biting or whatever. But some of them are just kind of to set up. Like, I don't get particularly annoyed if someone would be like, oh, this guy did your thing. And I'm like, that's kind of, you know, if you think about it, you could come up with that. You know, like. So definitely there's a couple like that where homies will text me and be like, oh, so-and-so. I'm like, someone could come up with that easily, you know. And also, I don't even mind if people do other shit that I've done. Like sometimes I'll do something and then, you know, but I don't even care because it's all about advancing, I think, for me, advancing like that, I don't know, it sounds cliche, but the art form or something. Because if you have a regular DJ, I mean, a regular DJ can be really great if they're playing the right stuff and the flow is really good. But then if you throw one of those tricks in there, like you said, with the DNA into Mo Bamba, this average listener, maybe at Arena or whoever, has not heard that kind of thing before. Would be like, damn, that was sick.
Yeah,
you know, like DJing is cool. Like they may start DJing, like, you know, so.
Yeah, no, I hear you, bro. Yeah. It's so funny because, you know, my girl will come with me to the club like all the time. Yeah. And she swears whenever she listens to a song that I've played at the club, she's like, I can't even listen to music regularly anymore. I'm like, why? She's like, because I'm just so used to like you doing like crazy shit with music now. Like it's kind of like this weird situation that I feel like DJs are in. It's like I can't listen to music like the same way. I'm always constantly thinking of new shit.
I listen to straight R&B or like the Eagles in the car when I'm driving. I don't listen to any like new shit really.
No hip hop or anything.
Not really.
I'm kind of the same, man. I'll listen to like some classical music before I head to the club just to kind of like calm me down a little bit. Sure.
Sometimes I'll just sit in silence after I'm done DJing. Like my friends be like, you don't want to turn something on the radio? I'm like, straight, bro.
Yeah, like I'm good, man. Yeah. I'm good. Like even when I used to work in radio too, it's like, you know, we used to hear the same like realistically like 30 songs every single hour. So it's like whenever I get to the car, I'm just like, I'm good.
Yeah.
Exactly. I you know, I feel like we've learned to enjoy silence.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
It's also just loud, you know, like you said about your eardrums. Like I'm really contemplating getting the earplugs because I just crank my shit, you know.
Yeah.
I think all DJs do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to redline sometimes, you know?
If you're not redlining, are you even headlining?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. So, man, like you've toured with like so many people. Like if I could go down the list, like, you know, Dumbfoundead, obviously, Anderson Paak, Awkwafina, like, and, you know, I think the moment when I realized, like, I mean, I already knew you were like super fucking dope, but like the moment where I was like, wow, like Zoe is like really that guy. I think it was at Ted Park show like a couple months ago.
Oh, at what was it, Terracotta or something?
No, it wasn't at Terracotta. It was at it was in downtown.
Oh, yeah, he had a show.
Yeah, it was like his
that one, the Regent or something like that.
Yeah, the Regent. I think it was like Ted
when
Park
you were
and Friends.
hosting. Yeah.
And bro, like I'm like, I kid you not, and I'll admit this, like when I was just watching you from the ground, I was like, oh my God, like he's fucking killing this shit right now, man.
No, I do like those kind of showcases because you could kind of go, you know,
just do your thing.
A little far left if you want, and then bring them back in. So I think I might have even, I can't even remember, but I do remember I did some like kind of off the wall shit. It might have been like Price is Right theme song or something. I think you were doing like a giveaway, like, you know, whatever, someone have the ticket number or something, and I put like Price is Right theme song.
Yes,
like,
yes.
So I do like those kind of like, you know, opportunities to
just be very interactive with the crowd.
And that's
musically.
why I like Serato too, because people all my USB stick homies like, oh, I go to USB stick. I'm like, yo, if Nico says they're doing a giveaway and the person's coming down, how long is it going to take me to scroll to the Price is Right theme song?
I feel it.
I can just go Apple F, Price is Right, boom.
Even more so, it's like, what are the chances that you decided to put that in like the USB stick?
I'm just thinking like that.
Yeah, I feel it. Yeah. But, you know, like to my point, it's like, you know, you're just so like tapped in with a lot of you know, notable people, and like the fact that they trust you with like Thanks, you know what I mean, because it's like I think it's one thing to like go around everywhere and, you know, you being like an independent DJ and just like, yo, you know, I'm booked in Texas, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, you know, that's obviously you as like DJ Zoe the artist, but like to be the main DJ for like so many notable people is just like, that's something that you don't really come across every single day.
Man. Yeah, I used to I trip out on it sometimes because I've definitely done some crazy shit. I remember like I used to write them down. I would have like a text file of like accolades. I'm like, DJ for so and so, DJ for so and so. But then I was just like, I don't know, I kind of stopped. But definitely I do like to reflect sometimes, like you think and be like, oh, that was a crazy moment. Like the Anderson thing, that occurred because we had that Knock Steady channel, and then we were doing these live performances, like studio performances. So we reached out to him because he went by a different name back then, Breezy Lovejoy, and he was super dope. Like that was the first day we met, and I forget who knew him. I think Intuition knew him or something from doing shows, just some LA shit. Anyways, he came on, killed it, and then Dumb was like, "Yo, you're dope," and then he's like, "Yeah, I drum too." So there was this weird experimental time where like Dumbfoundead was like, oh, I want to have a band, and then like, you know, we had Anderson as the drummer, we had the Free Nationals as the band, we had Jose on the guitar, you know, Ron on the keys, Kelsey on the bass, and I'm DJing, and then we would do that for a bit. We toured like that, and then he early in the thing we're like, okay, Dumb would all give us little time slots. He's like, all right, so you do your like 1 minute thing, let the DJ shine. Boom, I do my routine. Then we go into the song, Jose, do your guitar solo. And then Anderson, it was like, all right, it's your time. And he's like, all right, I'll do a song. He would be playing the drums and singing and everything. And then me and Dom would like look at each other like, this motherfucker's good.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
This guy's way better than us. Like,
hey, he could be a solo act one day.
Yeah. And then, man, he's just always so creative and so good. I remember I would even track him on Pro Tools. There would be like 30 layers of like, ooh, ooh.
Oh my God.
And then we put it all together. I was like, whoa, that sounds crazy.
Yeah. Oh my God, man. Have you created your own music, or were you just always tracking people?
I always was tracking people. I try to. I know how to like use the software. I know how to use Ableton and Pro Tools. But man, I haven't used it in a while. Actually, I had to track myself the other day for some cuts, and I was getting mad annoyed. Because the new Pro Tools, I don't know how to really use it that well. But yeah, I just never really got into it. I remember I would make some beats here and there. But after like an hour of like listening to like a 4-bar loop with one change up, I'd be like, this shit sucks. I just like delete it.
You're like, fuck it. I'm never doing this shit again. I feel that because over quarantine, well, you know, like smack in the middle of quarantine, I was like, I bought a piano. I bought, I think it was like Fruity Loops. And I was like, cool, let me make some shit.
Fruity Loops is tight. A lot of my boys, they like create crazy shit on
People
Fruity
know
Loops.
how to use Fruity Loops, man. But then, you know, I ended up saying, fuck this. Like, I really just want to DJ. So then, you know, I think one thing that a lot of DJs were and still are doing during quarantine is Twitch. Oh yeah. And so, you know, when I came up on when I finally like figured out who you were, I was wondering like, why was Zoe never on Twitch?
I did. I tried. You mean during the pandemic?
Yeah.
I did do it early. I guess earlier than it got super adopted because Dumb would do this like variety show where we'd interview people and then I would DJ and stuff, and then you know, we'd make a little money like that, and then oh, this is why I remember now. And so then I started doing Twitch. I did it for like a couple months. It was dope.
As a DJ,
okay. Yeah. But it was really just us being like, type 1 if you want us to drink a White Claw, you know?
So that's where that came from.
So like we're just getting drunk and talking shit. It was fun for sure. I would do it with my boy Kenny. I would do it with my boy Tony. But just like how you have the whole, system here, I wasn't like really eager to learn everything. I would always hit up my homie like, yo, can you?
Oh, okay.
So
it was kind of like the technology savviness of it kind of blocked
I had
you.
like Streamlabs, like I remember I would have to have a separate computer, and it just was like kind of, I didn't really like it. And then what ended up happening is my boy during the pandemic was like, come out and DJ in Korea and Vietnam. It's like open. So I left the country for like 6 months to DJ while it was like kind of on lockdown here.
Oh, yeah. So you were one of the lucky few who are still having like in real life stuff, just so not in the U.S.
Yeah. So that's why I didn't get it. And then when I came back, it was like the U.S. was open kind of. So like I kind of skipped maybe like good 9-10 months of unemployment.
That's crazy. Yeah. Good for you, man. Yeah. So then how was Korea?
It was dope. Both. I love Korea. I've been going there for like close to 10 years with Dom and even before that too. But, oh yeah, my bad. So
good.
I had to quarantine though, which fucking sucked. I had to quarantine twice. So I went to Korea. You had to spend 2 weeks by yourself in a hotel room, which is awful, dude.
Yeah.
Food is trash. Like you can't leave the room. Like first day is cool. We're like, oh, this is like camp.
This is royalty, man.
Like,
yeah.
And then like day 5, you're like going nuts. Day 8, you don't even watch TV anymore. You just stare and look at the wall.
Yeah, because I guess the sucky part about that, like, when you are actually sick, because I just had COVID like a couple weeks ago. When you are actually sick is like, cool. Like, at least my body's telling me to like sleep all of this off, but then your body's just like on and you're like, man, what the hell do I do now?
Yeah. So I did that. And then, I was looking forward to the, the light at the end of the tunnel, which is get to DJ when I'm out and everything's open, get to eat, blah, blah, blah. And then that Korea trip was coming to kind of an end. And then my boy was like, yo, come to Vietnam. It's open. But it's very, very hard to get into because, Vietnam is kind of a really strict country. I don't know what their political views are, but I don't want to speak on it if I'm not too sure. But it was very hard to get into that country. So I had to do all this. There's no flights going in or out. So I had to do all this crazy paperwork, and I pretty much went on like a charter flight where like they take like materials and stuff that's needed from Korea. I got on that flight, and then I had to quarantine in Vietnam
for another 12
2
days.
weeks.
Oh my god, man!
And then I got out. I DJ'd a lot, and then I came back. I think for New Year's.
When you're DJing, spots in like Korea or Vietnam, like, do you have to put on like a certain hat? Like, how do you adjust yourself as a DJ? Like, how did you adjust musically when you went to Korea, and how did you adjust musically when you went to Vietnam?
I would say those kind of things are definitely trial and error. I remember my first few gigs in Korea, I kind of bombed, because you're not really aware. So I think what's helpful is to like check in with local guys if you're able to connect with like so-and-so. I have a ton of DJ homies now in Korea and now in Vietnam. So I'll get like a few tracks from them, like, yo, what's the hot track? Like, who's the dope artist? They're like, oh, you need this J Park, edit of Mome, take that, play this. So I'll sprinkle those in there too. And then also, I guess just after time you get better, like after bombing Korea the first time. I remember I went to like Macau and they were like, yeah, it's hip hop night, right?
Okay.
This is that Club Cubic. Shout out to my boy Trix, he hooked that up. And the first time I was like, okay, hip hop, yeah, I could do that. But hip hop in China and Macau has like a different meaning. It means like weird Ed Sheeran remixes to like Beyonce's Single Ladies, like that, right? So like the DJ is going on, and like I thought this was fucking hip hop night. Like this motherfucker is like, what's going on here, right? So everything that I prepared before that, I kind of had to like throw it out, and then I kind of didn't do so well. But then the DJ after me, I saw him, and then like I think I came back to Macau maybe 6 months later. I took in all that knowledge, and then I just smashed it, and then like that's how I got that residency there. And then
that's so funny, bro. That's hella funny.
Yeah, like you got to think also too, like, is this an English speaking country? Because if it's not an English speaking country, then perhaps songs with a lot of lyrics in them or like very wordy that are not easily like repeatable are not going to really like go off.
Yeah. I also noticed too, and I'm not sure if this changes for nowadays, because when I went to the Philippines back in 2009, 2010, it was the year Michael Jackson died, right? Yeah. So then, obviously Michael Jackson was like popping over there, but then they didn't know like any of the music that I would play during that era.
Oh yeah.
So like my point being is that I felt like the music was always like, they, everywhere outside of the U.S. got U.S. music like extremely late.
Right. Yeah. That's another thing too. I feel like that when I go to Hawaii also, it's like a little bit behind over there, but definitely, in Asian places, Asian countries that are not like primarily English speaking, which is like majority, except for maybe Singapore. It's just a little bit behind. Like they're still on like Flow Rida Low and like I Got a Feeling.
I mean, so is Arena.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like after COVID, you could play those again.
Yeah.
Before that, it was like you get so much hate, like you're lame.
Yeah, it's. So
I don't
weird.
care. I'll play anything. I played Shania Twain last week in the club, bro.
Lit.
Man, I feel like a woman. I played that. So
lit.
But I've also played that before and it didn't work. So
thank
God it worked.
What would you say was like your I guess the gig where you in your professional DJ Zoe career, right? What would you say was the gig where you just knew you just like fucking bombed it?
Oh shit. Definitely one time in Korea I bombed because fucking something kept happening with the voltage and the mixer kept on turning off like every 5 minutes. No. Like I remember it kept turning off. I'm like, fuck. And then the guy's like, yo, we're gonna have to pull you. I'm like, bro, it's the voltage. I don't know what's going on. But I know how to speak a little like Korean, so I'd be like, Kechana, which means like everything's okay.
Oh, okay.
And then I have them like kind of saying that too.
You were over here using the mic breaks as the mixer was like getting.
Like, fuck, okay. Now the Serato's fucked up too. So that one definitely bombed. Yeah, other power shit like that too. I remember I bombed like this b-boy thing mad early in my career because we had to use records and I was using like Ultimate Breaks and Beats for all the b-boy shit. So I was like slamming him in. I was like Apache, Shack Up, like, everything. I had them ready. And then, but it was turntable. Someone tripped over the power cord in the back of the turntable. So it just went, and the b-boys are dancing. So I remember I had to take my finger and I was like trying to like make the record go like
at its BPM range.
I was like, da.
And the b-boys are looking at you like, is this like a remix or what the fuck is going on? Okay, so then now, relatively, what would you say was like the biggest highlight of your career so far?
Oh, man. Highlight? Shit. Just getting to travel to like all these dope places and DJ and get paid for it and stay at a nice hotel, eat good food, meet all the cool people. I think that I'm super fortunate and lucky to do that. Like before the pandemic, I was going over to Asia like 5-6 times a year. I was going to Korea like 2-3 times. I was going to Singapore, Macau, Vietnam, Thailand, stuff like that. So that was definitely, a Taipei, Shanghai.
Damn, you're literally all over Asia, man.
Yeah, I did it a lot, man. I found a cool circuit. I did good in those circuits. And then I have a really good friend, my boy Toshi in Singapore, who has great connections with a lot of places too. So we would just line up like tours like every 4 months. I'd be like, okay, this time I'm going to hit Vietnam, then I'm going to hit Bangkok, Phuket, then I'm going to come back and do Singapore, then we're going to do Macau, and then I'll go home. Okay, next one I'm going to do Taipei, I'm going to do Shanghai.
Crazy.
Australia, and then so I would say that's a highlight, the travel stuff, and also I got to go to some other cool places too, like Chile and
lit.
Yeah, Paraguay. Those were really dope places off the grid, kind of Paraguay especially.
And you're doing everything like by yourself? You don't have a manager or anything?
I am doing everything by myself except for Las Vegas. I have my boy Eddie Mac Agency helping me, and then in Singapore and a couple of those countries I have my boy Toshi helping me.
I love that, man. I love the fact that you're just so grit and grind with what you do and you make it work for yourself because I think even myself too, like I just always thought when I first started DJing, I was like, cool, like let me like make these connections, let me figure out like who's who, and let me make sure I get into the right spots like on my own. Because also too, it's like I don't want to pay anybody to do that all for me. At the same time, I do feel like it's difficult nowadays when I see a lot of people like, oh, I need and not only for DJs, but
Yeah.
even with artists too. It's just like, oh, well, I need a manager. I need the manager to
Right,
do this, do
right.
that. When at the core of it all, it's just like, well, how come you just don't like go ahead and like seek all of that out for yourself?
Sure. I think manager is essential when you get to that point where it's like, unmanageable or
Too much to eat on the plate.
Yeah, and then, or access to stuff like that you wouldn't necessarily get, or even like gig swaps. Like, okay, we want access to Zoe. Well, Zoe and Nico are on the same management, and so is so and so. If we book Zoe, then you got to book Nico in 2 months, and then you got to book this other DJ in 2 months, and then swap it around like that.
Just
Stuff
keep
like
it moving
that.
from there. I had this conversation with DJ Zeb at the club the other day. And I asked him, because he's also been DJing for a long time.
Yeah.
I was like, what's the biggest difference you see between the club back then versus the club now?
Right.
Whether it be like, and that's a variety of things. Like, it could be like the music, it could be like the actual crowd, it could be the actual DJs. Like, what are some differences that you see from then and now?
Yeah, I think bottle service really changed like the format for club DJs, I guess, because there weren't these elaborate like bottle presentations and stuff like that. And then also kind of, I guess back then, like cell phones or access to having like a camera easily available. Like, I feel like maybe back then people were just kind of like jumping around and going crazy to music. Nowadays, people are kind of, want to record stuff or kind of concerned about how they look and more inhibitions. So maybe that plays a part, but it's just different in every city, I guess, every venue, whatever kind of situation that you're in. And I'd say that's probably a big difference.
Yeah, because I feel like the internet is kind of like a double-edged sword nowadays.
Yeah.
So, like someone like a DJ Zoe or whatever, like, you're able to like create a piece of content, put it out, and then boom, like people can automatically know you, or, like at least have like heard of you because of that. But, when you do put it in a club situation, it's kind of like, it's kind of like a ego killer when you're like, you're doing like some dope shit, and then you see everybody either just like on their phone recording or just like chilling, just like,
and that,
am I still killing it?
Yeah. I think that creates like kind of, I don't know if it's self-doubt is the word, but I've been noticing that I am going so fast now through songs. Like, I'll just sometimes play like hooks only, but I'll like, won't do that all the time, but here and there. And I think that's out of nervousness, because I'm like, shit, this Cardi B verse is going on too long. Like Cardi B on Tatiana, I'm like, this verse is too fucking long.
Yeah.
Like, I gotta take it out.
I feel that, bro, because, I was actually promoting clubs when I was 14 years old.
Yeah.
Like super young. It was like an all-age event type shit, right? And so, I would listen to all my DJ homies, like, just do their thing. And then nowadays, I'm thinking about it when I am spinning. I'm just like, well, this was a song that turned up way back then.
Right.
I know this song I was able to, they were able to play for like the entirety of the song. Yeah. And I feel like there's just so many songs out.
Oh yeah.
And, a handful of like familiar songs that it's kind of impossible to play songs all the way through now.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. I'll look at my thing and it'll be like, I was at Temple in San Francisco on Friday, and I had like a 75-minute set. And I looked at my play history, and it was like 89 songs. I was like, Jesus, is that one a minute? But some of them were like kind of like shout outs maybe. So maybe it was like 79 or 75. I'm still like, damn, that's fucking a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot. I mean, that's more songs than the amount of minutes that you're playing.
Yeah. So
that's crazy.
But I think some of them were setups. Like I'll go like Kanye, Can't Tell Me Nothing. Wait till I get my money right, and then I'll take it out before the whoa, and then I'll just go into Bobby Shmurda like.
Lit, yeah.
Or I'll go elsewhere with that. I've seen people do that before, going into like fuck with me and get some money, because the money and the money. So that
I get what you mean.
That counts as one song on the history, but that was only like 5 seconds.
Yeah.
There's a couple of stuff like that too.
Yeah, because I'll do the fuck with me and get some money until Gold Digger, she'll take my money.
But you probably only play that a little bit, right? Then,
yeah, that's it. And because essentially like it was maybe like not even 30 seconds worth of like music, but like
but you squeezed in like 3, so like that chunk. accounted for why there were so many in that playlist.
Exactly. You being like such a veteran in this game, like what advice would you have for DJs who are just starting out and like do want to get into the club?
Yeah, specifically the club or just
let's just say DJing in general.
I'd say DJing in general, kind of figure out. I mean, it's good to have the skills of everything of scratching, beat juggling, CDJs, turntables, mixing, song selection. But if you can kind of figure out what kind of DJ you want to be, then you can kind of focus on that. I get a lot of questions too, like what like equipment should I get or should I start on? That's really on you too. I would say that it's important to learn every equipment. Turntables, I think if you're DJing a club, you're not going to see as often. I don't see them a lot anymore. CDJs definitely learn. It's cool to learn on a controller too, but make sure that you practice on the CDJ too, because if you get booked and you're that asshole that puts the controller on top of the thing, like perhaps the management or the AV is not going to like that, and they're not going to want you back. So you should just kind of learn to rock on whatever is there. I would say kind of try hard to put yourself in hard situations, like stuff that makes you uncomfortable, like not saying like DJ a country gig, but like, you get an opportunity to DJ something big and you're not ready, like that fight or flight, instead of like, just go for it. And then if you bomb, like that's great, you bombed, but you're going to have to bomb like eventually, a couple of times, and then timing, I would say really focus on timing. A problem that a lot of newer DJs I see is like they have a hard time figuring out like where to come in, and some overlap with like this verse like with this verse, or there'll be 2 bars too late for the hook or something like that. And then if you do that, here's a trick: you just slam the echo or the reverb. If you're train wrecking, just slam the reverb, take it out. Don't let it train wreck too long. Or if you could fix it real quick, ideally you should fix it. But if you can't, just slam the reverb and then put the new one on.
Yeah. Small little tricks.
Yeah.
Go back to the very simple, just the flip switch on the freaking S9 or whatever.
Yeah.
You actually told me something like really cool the other day, because we have the Rev 7 over here. You guys cannot see it on camera, but you actually had a part in building it?
Yeah, so the Rev 7, I've been working with Pioneer for some time now. Whenever they need, what is that word? QA, or when they test, when you test all.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so they'll bring out like the prototypes, and I have a close friend of mine that Drew. He works in the product development, so he showed me the sketches for these things like maybe 3 or 4 NAMs ago. So I used to go to I've been going to the NAM for a long. That conference, the NAM. So I've been going there for a bit. And then I guess through that conference, I have a lot of, connections with industry folks who are interested in, from a turntablist perspective, but also like club DJing. So I would give little inputs, with the Rev 7. I forget what I gave on that, but they asked a bunch of people, and they were like, would you buy this, A, B? I remember we did a lot of like Zoom meetings with people in Japan, and then like they were just having mess around for hours, and then like, what do you think about this? So
gotcha, man.
I did that for the Rev 7. I also did that for the S11 and some other stuff that.
So no wonder the S11 and the Rev 7 got like very similar things to it.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go through some rapid fire questions here. Let's see what we got. I actually had to like write a couple of these down, and let's see where we go, man. What? It's not even on my phone. You know what? It's on my laptop, but I know a couple right off the head.
All right.
The first one, man. Considering you are both Filipino and Italian, are we going with Filipino spaghetti or Italian spaghetti?
Oh, are you going to do that to me? Man, you know what? Italian spaghetti. I'm sorry.
No. Why?
Because I've been going to Vegas a lot lately, and there's where I DJ in the casino. There's Italy, and I've been getting the Italy bolognese like for 4 years now, 5 years. I just love it, man.
Oh, that's how you say bolognese.
Bolognese, yeah.
Yeah, see, I say bolognese or something like that. And mind you, I did take Italian class in high school.
But when I want something like nostalgic, then yeah, Filipino. This spaghetti is banging. Don't get me wrong.
It really is. It really is. I heard Pilo doesn't really like the Jollibee all that much.
Some people don't like the sweet spaghetti. you know. But
I like it. I like it. When you go to Jollibee, my order is always the 2-piece spicy chicken.
Oh yeah.
With the spaghetti, right?
Yeah.
That being said, what's
Hood
your
classic?
Yeah, Hood classic, bro. What's your Jollibee order?
I just get spaghetti, man.
There we go.
And sometimes the juicy yum burger, but I don't get that much.
Overrated Filipino food and underrated Filipino food.
Underrated Filipino food, laing. Do you know what laing is?
I don't even know what that is.
Man, that one is so good. It's taro leaves soaked in like coconut milk and chilies with like small little shrimps and pork in there. It's pretty much like a curry, and you put it on rice.
Oh, that's
taro leaves.
I think my dad might make that. I just don't know what it's called.
Fire, bro.
Okay.
Laing. And then overrated.
Overrated.
Oh man, there's nothing that's overrated, man.
I know Filipino food is so freaking
maybe
good.
that really that liver, that breakfast liver. I fucking hate that. Everyone's like, oh, this is good with the liver and steaks. I mean, liver and onion.
Oh yeah. I know what you're talking about.
I don't like liver, but everyone else likes that. And
oh, okay.
I don't particularly like that.
So you're definitely goutless.
Yeah.
He does not.
You like liver?
I love liver, bro.
Really?
Liver's really freaking good.
I don't like that one.
What is a song that's surprising? You might have actually answered this.
Yeah.
But what is a song that surprisingly works at the club for you still?
Oh, I mean, one that I did talk about, Shania Twain, man, I Feel Like a Woman. If you can pull that off, it's fucking crazy. Oh, when they sing along. Sometimes it doesn't work, so you really have to gauge that out. If there's a lot of white people or a lot of like girls or a lot of people from the Midwest or something, you maybe could squeeze that in. What else is there? I mean, Vanessa Carlton, everyone always plays that. That's a great one.
Bro,
yeah.
I love playing that song.
Yeah. Earth, Wind & Fire, September, Kelly Clarkson,
Since You've Been Gone. Yeah.
Those are just, those work. I don't know. Yeah, that's a good question. I think probably the Shania Twain, but other DJs play the Shania Twain too. I've heard it before.
I might have to mess around with the Shania Twain, bro. Yeah. And I'll just make sure I text you like, bro, like I'm playing it right now.
Yeah. Let's see if it works.
So if there was, if you could tell, the beginner DJ version of you, like any sort of words of wisdom, what would it be?
The beginner DJ version of me. Learn CDJs earlier. No, I would say, shit.
Like it doesn't even have to be on like a skill thing. It could just be like, yeah.
Buy Dogecoin.
Buy Dogecoin, yes!
And sell it when it was at the top.
Facts and amen to that, man. DJ Zoe Mano, thank you so much for hopping on the podcast, bro.
Yeah, I appreciate you, bro.
Yeah,
fun.
I'm happy we could finally get you on here, man.
Yes,
where can everybody find you on your Peach Mango Pie Jollibee shirt?
Just my name, Zoe, and then my last name, Mano, Manno.
By the way, I gotta say, like, and I'm not gonna air out your actual name, but you have a beautiful name, bro.
Thank you. It's Italian.
Yeah,
Alessandro. It's Italian.
Yeah, I was like, oh, okay. Now I definitely see where the Italian is, man.
Yeah. So that actually, that's how I got my DJ name too. Was where I was growing up, like you said about identity things. Alessandro was a peculiar name in Northern Virginia. It's not that common. So, for people that don't know how to pronounce it, I don't know how you wouldn't know. You just read it Alessandro phonetically. But then, like, I remember one of my neighbors, Dan Bernier, he was like, Alonzo. He's like, oh, here comes Zoe.
Alonzo,
so he thought
bro.
my name was Zoe. And then it's 2 letters. Like, Alessandro's 10 letters, right? So that was just infinitely easier for folks to say. Like, I'm talking about, like, 5th, 6th grade. That became my nickname, and then that's just why I go by DJ Zoe.
I love it, man. I love it. Well, shouts out to DJ Zoe. Check him out everywhere, man. And where's your next gigs?
Next gigs.
Let's say 2 weeks from. Yeah, let's say like maybe 2 weeks from now. Way.
2 weeks. I'm gonna be. I'm gonna be at Opal, right? And I'm gonna be at Arena, and then I'm gonna be after that. I'm gonna be in Las Vegas. So
he's looking at me because he's like, "You booked me, bro."
Yeah, right? Where am I gonna be at?
By the way, that was not like a direct plug. I was just like, "Where are you gonna be?" Because I'm gonna drop this like next week.
yeah, that's what I would be. You can go on the internets and find it too.
Facts. Yeah. Nico Blitz Podcast, DJ Zoe, and we are out. Everybody, peace.